Being 5:03, I'll call the meeting of the Park and Rec Committee to order. And Adam, if you would do roll call.
How do you want me to do it? First name, last name, don't care? How formal do you
However
like
makes
it?
you comfortable.
I'll do Nancy.
Here.
Howard.
Here.
Jason.
Yes.
Josh.
Here.
Dave.
Here.
We don't mispronounce anything.
We'll work on those.
I got him. Don't need to be that formal.
Just so everybody is aware and those that are watching, this is Adam Sontag, our new city administrator.
I'm here.
So if you have any questions regarding the city, call Adam. No.
Fine.
Mike's going, yes. No. Okay, take a moment to look over the minutes from the February 24th meeting. And if there's any changes or whatever, bring those up. Otherwise, we'll obtain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion's been made. Is there a second?
Second.
Any other discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Discussion items? Ruth Retzloff had asked me to put her on the agenda from the Girl Scouts about, they want to put a tree in Barlow Park. And that's about all the information that we really got. Want to do to honor somebody or whatever. And she was going to come and present that a little bit more.
Okay, I'm not sure what she was going to present, but let me
Okay.
look at if I have
For email.
the email, if I can find it here.
She was part of working with the Eagle Park stuff too.
Yeah, they did the Eagle Park. It was basically, she just wanted to come and present it to us and then us approve or
The
not.
Ripon Girl Scout troops are looking at accomplishing a Girl Scout Tree Promise program with the ultimate goal being a tree planted in honor of high schooler Gabe
Carson.
Carson.
Yeah.
Okay, who passed away in May of
Mhm.
20. One of Gabe's favorite places was Barlow Park.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that any request to plant a tree would need to go to Park and Rec,
Yeah.
which I
It does.
forwarded
Yeah.
that to get on, okay?
Yeah.
So that's what
they were looking
it
at.
entails. And I sent it over here because I wasn't sure
Mhm.
how we've approached that in the past.
Yeah. And basically, don't know if she was talking about having a plaque put there by it or whatever, because that would be something a little different there than just a tree planted and everybody knows that that's Gabe's tree. I myself, I don't have a problem with them, wanting to plant a tree, long as it's something that Mike would approve the
I think there's-
species in that,
Oh, I was gonna ask what kind of tree.
I think there's plenty of spots out there. We
Yes.
had some smaller ones
Mhm.
that were real small that have died.
Yeah.
So I think there's a good places for that.
yes.
If you would like me to go ahead and tell her yes, I will do
Yeah,
that.
so I was just gonna say,
I think that's great.
it'll move it along quicker, because I'm sure they wanna
It's
get
spring.
planting as soon as it can, so everything gets set in that, so.
Okay,
What I'll do is I will obtain a motion to approve, Mrs. Retzloff's request.
Motion.
Motion's
Second.
made by David.
Motion second.
Second.
Is there any other discussion on that? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That will go through. Mike, you will notify her?
yep, I'll work with her on it.
Okay. Review the 5-year plan. Mike?
So, that's the spreadsheet one you guys see there. And for this, we'll take one look at this, is 2019, 2020 are some of the things that we did and accomplished. So, the next sheet, I'll hide those so it's not so cluttered, okay? And this again is just a laundry list that gets put on, and we try to knock things off as two things as we have time or funding becomes available. We are seeing an uptick in reservations for parks, pavilions, and that's what we apply the monies to this. Either we save the money forward or we spend it in a year. And some things we just need to do ourselves from a city standpoint, so. If there's anything on here you kinda, you know, would like to tackle, like me to tackle, please say so. I highlighted a couple things that we're gonna get done. You see in the yellow for 2021, okay? And
So are you moving forward with the repair or the removal on those bubblers? I see that's slated for 2021.
I guess feedback on that.
Oh,
I can do either or,
Right, right.
whatever you want. We can do people do use them.
Yep.
There has been calls that they aren't working. So I'm not sure how COVID affects those at all.
I know last year you guys repaired some up at Barlow,
I'm not sure we repaired any last year.
in the dugouts. You
We did,
Yeah.
okay.
Must have been Tim. Tim came.
Kim might have, yeah.
Yeah, there were just some minor parts that needed to be repaired on those, so I know those.
I
we
don't
done.
remember that, but,
Um,
so we can reevaluate those and fix those up, if that's what we'd like to do. I'm good with either.
yeah,
I just questioned if there was a decision made, either to keep them in or to pull them out, that's all. I didn't know either way how it's going. Much like you, I wasn't sure with the COVID situation or what would be going on with those, so.
About the time we pull them out and that stuff, then,
Right.
you know,
Right.
Could be
they're gonna
cleared
come
up.
back and say, oh, it's okay, you know, and, the
We
the
will
worst we
fix
could do
them.
would be.
Yeah, I think we
Yeah,
could probably just
I would-
repair them and then if
Repair
we
'em
need to put
or,
them out, then we put them
We'll
out,
do
so.
that, okay,
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
cross that off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
Any others on this? Anybody have any questions on? Anything they'd like to see moved up the list?
Mike, I know last summer/fall, we had done the parking lot up behind the community church for our bank community
Yeah,
involvement
Great
project.
job you guys on that, it looks awesome.
Thank you. Any of these that, I mean, there's a few that stick out that, you know, when we're talking our power of community events and trying to get out and
And what were you thinking?
I mean, I'm looking at things like, you know, painting the north and south facilities at Barlow. Exterior and interior painting.
I did the Barlow was done.
Okay, Barlow North was, the south doesn't look
The
like.
south I did not accomplish.
Okay, so like, you know, things like that that don't require a ton of handiwork.
We
and
can supply
any
them.
10 of us can come
That
out.
would be a
Why
good
don't you
one.
go back to your group and show them the list? And
Yeah, I
kinda get
will.
their
Would you
feedback,
be comfortable with that, I
Yes,
guess?
absolutely, we would supply,
the materials.
materials and, you know, if there's ladders you need or,
Because this is all stuff we could, you know,
yep.
help you guys tackle throughout the next few
Yep.
years, you know?
And I don't think I upgraded the LEDs on that particular one. That would be, that's not a big deal, that's something that we could handle probably too, so.
Okay.
um,
Yeah, I'll get in touch with you then.
Good point on that, I guess I never thought.
I don't think we should be quiet about those kind of projects either, because,
Yeah.
I mean, there may be other groups in this community that may wanna.
Oh, absolutely.
And, you know, the more that we can get this information out in front of them and say, hey, here's the projects we're looking to do, they might be able to pony up and help out to get these
Yeah.
accomplished a little bit quicker, so.
Yeah, and we're looking to do more than just the one we did last year, you know, with COVID and everything, everything was pretty restricted.
That was a tough one. though.
So now this is still, that was a big one. Now, you know, that things are opening up and
Mhm.
we're allowed to to get out and about again, and obviously everything being fresh within the business. I think we could definitely tackle a couple of these, so I'll get in touch with you separately, but.
I think the one that really is gonna hit us is that, the very, very top one, Murray West Shelter, it needs a new roof.
9 grand?
So that's the softball?
That would be the softball one, that's the southwest one there, yes. I
Between the
did,
two.
You're looking at going with metal roofing?
I did put that price in as a metal roof, and I took this number off what it cost my son to do his house, and his house was 13,000, and that was through the Amish.
Yeah.
It was 18,000 through regular builders.
Okay.
I think the idea of the metal roof was probably the way to go.
You're gonna get more years out of it. That's
More
what
years
I'm
out of
It's gonna be forever.
Yep.
I mean,
Exactly.
that
So-
roof down there is in really bad shape, because when I go down to paint the soccer field and that down there, I'm picking chunks of,
Yeah,
you know, roofing off of there because it just blows in there.
so we did talk, I mean, I brought this up a little bit with Adam too about it, and it is a maintenance item, so it has to come out of budget.
Yeah.
So I gotta find
Why
one.
wouldn't the softball people wanna chip in?
So, we'll see,
Yes,
we'll see how we can do,
Or less?
this year,
Yeah. If that's
saving
something
some
that,
money and rolling it over.
Yeah.
Remove dock from Selfridge?
I did that,
I was gonna say once again.
it was falling apart.
Yeah.
It's taken its toll over the years.
For sure.
but we had that one year where it didn't get pulled,
Right.
and the ice,
It never got pulled when I was here, so,
Right.
but then it was cemented in at that point.
right.
So I don't know what
It-
happened before
It
that.
used to come in and out every fall, and,
That would be the way to do it on
Yep.
those.
yep,
Mhm.
and,
It's twisted and shot.
yep, and that's what happens when Mother Nature
Yep.
has her say with things.
Is that something we wanna look at maybe adding back in the future? Is that something that would be?
That's something we could probably look at
Kind of
applying for a grant, because that was an ADA accessible
I
pier.
think there's some opportunities there.
So there might be something that, you know, we can look into, ADA, they may have some funding out there for that. Because we did get a grant for that years ago, for a portion of that. And then we had budgeted for the rest.
Thanks, Mike, appreciate it.
Yep. So anything else you guys see out there that needs to be done, just, let us know, all right?
Any other questions for Mike? If not, we'll go to project updates and staff reports.
I did include the pavilion data. So I don't have it in front of me, but most of you have seen this. Last year was tough, we are seeing an uptick in renting the pavilions, they are coming in, so that's great news for us.
Yeah, everybody's anxious to get out and about and
Yep,
do
Yep.
something, so. I'm sure you'll start to see a lot more of those too,
mm-hmm.
as restrictions are loosened and.
And, just put this out there, because of the COVID is, we do sanitize those bathrooms and everything. And we got special stuff for that we spray them down with, and then it has to sit for 10 minutes. And then we reopen that area, so, that occurs every day, and I think even on the weekends, so.
Getting things all ready for mowing and all that good stuff in the
And,
parks.
Yep, equipment's getting ready. The rain made it green, the worms came out, the frogs are out. So we're getting ready for that. We have hired our help for the summer. We have 2 people for cemeteries, 1 for parks, all interchangeable for summer help. And we have 1 full-time summer help mower person, and that's all he does all week. And that's just in the parks, and then we have people mowing also in the cemeteries and other areas. So we are fully staffed to the budget, and look forward to getting back at it.
I don't think people realize how much acreage of grass we have that has to be mowed in the parks. By the time you finish doing everything, you're behind going back to start again on.
Yeah, pretty much.
Whole thing.
So from a field standpoint, we talked about from a softball or baseball or those fields, those are done twice a week. And I know they try to hit them on Thursday, I believe, for tournaments or games or things like that.
I was approached today regarding the batting cage for the softball diamonds down there.
Yep.
Is there
And we'll
some-
let Howard talk to that.
Yeah, is there some, where's that
The-
at?
okay,
They were just curious.
Right now, we got a late start on doing Barlow's last
Sure.
year, and then everything froze up.
Okay.
So now that things are thawed out, myself and my son are doing that.
Cool.
We're putting in a framed elevated area,
Okay.
so that, not sitting in water. For up at Barlow, I got a hold of some of the turf from the football field that we're gonna put in there, because that's a wider cage than down at Murray. And we'll get that one done. As soon as that's done, then we'll go down there. It's not like we're not going to do anything down there, it's just
Sure.
a matter of time when, you know, you're limited, the personnel and time to do that stuff, so.
Yep, they were just curious for the
Yep.
softball season beginning and stuff.
Yep,
as to where
exactly.
things are at. It's
They'll,
goofy.
they'll be treated just as equal. It may not just be as soon as we wanted, like I say.
Yeah,
By the time we got around to do everything up there last year.
Are they getting redone or what?
What, redone?
Yeah.
Well, you know, there's that lime chip that's there right now, and it's,
Just the base is,
just the base is all that we're doing. We're turning around, like I said, we're elevating it with treated 2x material, filling that in with a compact sand, and then going over the top with some type of turf. So that, you know, it's elevated, because people dig holes usually normally when they're up there on that chipped gravel stuff, and it rains, and then you got water pockets and that stuff, and it makes it tough to use them. So at least this way, we elevate it with the sand, we'll get some drainage through there, make it a little easier. Up there at Murray, they don't use metal cleats, so, you know, they're not gonna tear it up. So we don't really have to go with the turf type material. We can probably find a nice, decent commercial, indoor-outdoor type material that, you know, we're doing, and this is all being done through me and my son, so it's a project we will get done now that the weather's changing, so. I mean, who would expect, you know, March and we're able to start getting out and working on fields and doing things like that, so.
right.
But yeah, that will be done as soon as we finish up at Barlow, so.
Sounds good.
I mean, as far as the netting, we'll put the netting up as soon as we can get in there.
Yeah.
And then the netting, so people understand the netting that we put on the dugouts and the backstops and all that. We keep an eye on the weather. We don't want the snow coming in and then tearing them down, and then we got a replacement. So it is only March. We've seen it snow in May.
And a lot of that stuff normally isn't done until like that second week of April, maybe third week of April
Yeah.
anyway, so
So
we're still in.
kind of just watching the weather on that a little bit, okay?
Sure.
So, but it'll get done.
Check the Farmer's Almanac this year.
Never right.
I did, just, and it turned around and said that March and April will flip-flop.
Yeah.
So, you know,
We'll wonder.
that's all we need, just when we think we can get out and do something.
They're not.
We're gonna get snow, so, but yeah, otherwise, things are getting ready to start rolling now that people are able to get outside and do stuff, so. Adam, do you have anything report-wise? Laurie might have filled you in on anything? Money that's come in that we didn't know about?
Guessing not.
I think the biggest thing we'll have to get together on, Mike and I talked with Ludd, the Aiken Park area there,
Yep.
what's happening. So
Yeah.
we're working on that and getting that all settled, so DPW will be removing some of the roadway there or whatever. And
Yeah.
We just need to design that out, so
Yeah,
again.
Mike and I went over that last fall, and
We're gonna revisit that, I
Revisit, yeah.
think.
hit it again come spring
Yep,
now, so,
So,
just kind of concept it out,
yeah,
so, again, before we start
actually do
ripping
things, yeah.
stuff out.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you on that, Howard.
So that should be, project-wise, adult swing will be done this spring at the
Yes, sir.
dam,
Yes, sir.
after being relocated,
So what we'll see there, I don't know, can I talk to it? No, I can't. I guess a project update.
It's a project,
We'll go back to the project real quick, update. The swing on the dam will be installed opposite on the other side of the one that's there, and we will be refurbishing. When that gets put in, then we're gonna put some more dirt down around the dam area. There's some erosion and things, and reseed that. So that is gonna occur, all right? And that came from a dam inspection. It doesn't sound right.
an
And
inspection
then,
of the dam.
then we're gonna move over also to the Aikens,
Corner.
Bridge area and start putting some of that stuff together, and it'll be throughout the year. I don't have that laid out yet, okay? So
Good things
that's
are
some
happening.
project updates that I should have mentioned. I didn't
That's all
wanna
right.
speak out of the wrong.
Otherwise, any other updates on that? Nothing to have, anybody, have anything?
I had some people ask about how much adaptive play equipment or barrier-free equipment we have in the system and through the park. Do we have a piece at every park that is kind of barrier-free or adaptive for those to use? Or is that something that we can look at adding in some places down the line here too?
Well, part of it is getting the access to it.
Right.
Some of the equipment is ADA equipment, but getting.
But I believe there's some pieces already in Barlow. I think there's
Yes.
a few, and
Yeah.
of course, obviously, the Eagle Park
The
project.
Eagle Park and that.
And a few others as well.
I think there's up in Murray, but the big thing is the accessibility to
Right.
get to it other than going through the grass. Yeah,
Okay.
so there is equipment there, so that's something we can look at, maybe doing with,
I don't
some
know
projects.
if we have an inventory.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see if there is an inventory of some of the
I will
AD
look
equipment.
in my office
Yeah,
and see.
Yeah.
But I think there is, something in each of the major parks.
Yeah, I know for quite a few years we were working on
Could
trying
we
to get a
put-
new piece in every
Right,
in
Yeah.
every park, just to
Why
make sure.
don't we
there's-
put that on the next meeting for
Okay.
discussion?
That'd be great.
And if I have something, I will
bring it
bring
along.
it along.
Yep.
If I don't, I'll maybe have to figure it out.
And before that, everybody take a drive around to the parks and take a look but yeah, the majors do have stuff, it's just the accessibility.
Yeah.
There's no major pathway or anything
Mhm.
like that to get to them, so.
So we can look at.
Okay, review the current budget, just to look over, everybody's got any questions? Still early in the year, so nothing's really moving with any of that.
Just some funds coming in and Ripon Fest booked.
Yeah.
It's good to see that after a year hiatus. A lot of things will be happening compared to not last year. Any suggestions for the next meeting, contact Adam or myself, and we'll make sure we get those put on. Otherwise, our next meeting will be May 26th. We'll get back to our every other month schedule as normal. Otherwise, I'll obtain a motion to adjourn if there's nothing else.
So moved.
Second.
Made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned at